This time on Hobby Journeys, we're looking at the Warhammer World Champion Reveals with lots of Korps of Krieg and Eldari.
Hello, welcome to Hobby Journeys. So we've got a bit of a cracker here. We're going to be looking at the reveals from the World Championship of Warhammer.
What does that mean?
There was a Championship of Warhammer. And
yeah, I kind of thought that.
So, as Games Workshop often do, because it was an event, they've done a load of reveals, and it is corking. I mean, at the moment, I have a miniature purchase ban because I've many.
Yeah, he's been naughty. First he's been naughty, and second he spent too much.
I've got so much grey plastic.
You still haven't even started that.
But just you should see what we have on offer. You know, we are talking. We've got
Is there any Space Wolves?
There are no Space Wolves for you, but what there is we've got Korps of Krieg.
I like Korps.
We've got Eldar Aspect Warriors. That's one of my favourites. Since I got back into the hobby a good 8 years ago, I've been waiting for Fire Dragons. Fire Dragons have happened. We have Fire Dragons.
When we did the review, I decently liked Fire Dragons, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did. So we've got and that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know, we've got all sorts going on with this reveal. Anyway, before we get into that, just an update on the channel, because for those of us who follow us regular, we'll notice we haven't
Not anymore. Not really anymore, is it?
Well, we haven't enough videos for them to watch.
Exactly.
But yeah, we haven't had as many videos out recently as we had before. We've been having a bit of a break, haven't we, Matthew?
No, we haven't been having a break. We're just too lazy.
Well, there is the laziness.
Like, we always set the date and then we don't do it.
Well, there is the thing that you've joined the football team.
Yeah,
and I've been driving you to football practice a lot and football games a lot. So that's been taking a fair bit of time. But we're going to be committing to getting back to the weekly videos after Christmas. We'll have a bit of a break up to the end of the year and then back into it. We'll do what we did last year, and we'll do a review of the year. So we'll do that right at the end of the year and then back into the weekly videos.
Was that really that long ago?
It was that long ago. I quite enjoyed that. That was good,
I remember doing it.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that. But for now, we're going to be looking at the World Championship preview. That is a thing. Shall we get into it, Matthew? Let's do it. Right, so the World Championship preview. First up, we've got new Aeldari. So we've got some Aspect Warriors. So the Aspect Warriors are the elite warriors of the Eldari. They are all different themed units. So we've had previously the Howling Banshees. They charge in, making a screaming noise to scare the enemy or something, you know. And so they all sort of have their own sort of little niche. First up, we've got the Fire Dragons. So these are the Fire Dragons. These were a favourite of mine from back when I used to Warhammer back in the day. What are you thinking?
What type of English is that? Back when I used to Warhammer?
I was trying to be down with the kids and that. That's how the kids talk, innit? Because I is cool.
Yeah, maybe in like the 2010s.
Yeah, something like that.
It's all gangster stuff.
2010s, that's only a second ago, isn't it? That's new, isn't it? But yeah.
Not really.
So we've got these Fire Dragons. So this is the Exarch, which is the squad leader. What are you thinking to the Fire Dragons, Matthew? What do you think?
They're cool.
They're cool.
They've got fiery weapons.
They do have fiery weapons. That is one of the key things about them. So we have a helmeted version and a non-helmeted, which is specifically for the Yanari. I prefer the helmeted.
I don't like the unhelmeted.
No, well you don't like without a helmet generally, do you? You know, I think these are decent. I do like these. I think my main issue with these is that they're just not that exciting.
No, they're very plain.
They're a bit plain, aren't they? I mean, they could just be the normal Guardian squad with a different helmet and a fancier weapon. You know, they haven't really set my world alight by doing anything clever with them. But, you know, I mean, I think that one of the key things aspect was they all look different.
Well, you probably could have made that with, like, your own separate kit, just painted it that colour.
Yeah, absolutely right. Just a Guardian kit with a different helmet and a gun. You know, that would have been possible. But, you know, anyway, you know, I think I always loved the Fire Dragons. I like the Exarch model. I think that is a cool model.
That is a good.
So just having a quick look at Fuegan. So Fuegan was announced a couple of weeks ago. So Fuegan is the Phoenix Lord of the Fire Dragons. He's the model. I used to have the model back then. He was a big lump of lead. Big lump of lead. And it's a good reimagining.
Did he not have any like features? Was it just a block of lead?
wasn't just a block of lead, but he was a solid block of lead.
That's what you just said.
He was. Well, what he was just a very chunky model. He was made entirely of lead in one piece. Wasn't a multi-part kit. You just had one piece.
And then the guns.
No, that was all part of the same thing.
So you just painted it?
Yeah, exactly. It was just, you stuck it on the base. If I'm honest, I don't think I ever painted him, to be honest. But he was a big, chunky model. It was, a serious piece of kit. And I like this reimagining. I think it's good. If I think it could be a little bit more chunky, what are you thinking on about Fuegan?
Yeah, I think he should have had fatter armour.
I think he should really be a bit bigger and bulkier. But he's good. I like the model.
You're meant to be the main guy. You're meant to be a bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
And make him a bit taller. If he's meant to be special, you got to make him stand out.
Yeah, I think he probably is a little bit taller, but not massively. He has got the lance, which is massive. But, yeah, I like the model. Anyway, he was announced a couple of weeks ago, so here we are, old news and that.
But you probably know it by now.
Yeah, so I like this X-Arch model. It's a good model. But just the normal guys, they could have just done a bit more with it. I don't know what to suggest they did.
Just a brief bit of thing. At least they gave us a tiny dragon.
It gives a tiny little dragon. You're absolutely right, Matthew.
That's part of the kit.
Yeah, that is part of the kit. That's the thing. So there's them. Anyway, we also have...
Oh, he's cool.
A Saruman? Something like that.
It looks like a character
What's he
from a
called?
nighttime story from...
Asaman. So he is the Phoenix Lord of the Dire Avengers. We already have the Dire Avengers in the plastic kits. Those fire dragons, by the way, they haven't had a refreshed kit for a good 20 years.
That's twice as old as me.
Yeah, it hasn't been available for years either. It just hasn't been a thing. And, so I'm very, very well worthy of a refresh. We already have the Dire Avengers in plastic, who he is the leader of. But it's a good model, isn't it? I like this guy.
Yeah,
What do you like about him?
A character from one of them bedtime stories for 5-year-olds that would be the bad guy that's it's sleepy time, and he's behind him.
Right.
He's making the children going to sleep.
Are you sort of saying he's a bit like the Pied Piper or something?
Kinda, yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know what the Pied Piper is.
Oh, well, it's a fairy story that probably we never told you, so here we are. I think that's a great model. I like this a lot. I might pick it up just to paint him myself, even without any other Eldar, because I have no other Eldar.
Hey. No spending.
I could get into it. I could. I always did. In fact, when we went to Warhammer World a year or so ago, I went there intending to buy Eldar and came back with Space Dwarfs, what they call the League of Votan.
League of Votan.
Yeah, I came up with a box of them. I don't know what happened.
You painted half of them, and I don't think you finished.
I painted 5 of them out of a box of 30 or 40 of them.
When we go to Warhammer World in January, which we do pretty much every year, you're not spending over 20... No, that's a bit too much. You're not spending over 40 quid.
I think I might reserve just to books. I might just get books.
Yeah, just books.
Yeah.
I'll spend all I want.
Yeah,
I'll buy a load of Space Wolves and I'll rub it all in your face.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a solid model. I like this sword with this.
I do.
He's got a built-in shuriken pistol. I think that's it's nice that. It's nice that. Oh yeah, he's got shuriken pistols fitted to each of his hands. He's got a pistol fitted to each wrist, and then he's wielding the sword with his hand.
It's good, confusing.
So I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Why don't we do that in real life?
I don't know how to answer that, to be honest. Then we've got Baharoth. So Baharoth...
He looks like a Native American.
I've just realised that's what gives the name to the paint. There's a Baharoth Blue, which is named after him, apparently.
He looks like an eagle mixed with a Native American.
So he's the X-Arch of the Swooping Hawks. So they are Aspect Warriors of the Eldar again, but they have wings and they fly around. They fire las guns, but they can fly quickly around the map.
Why don't they make them actually fly? Why are they always standing on something?
Well, because the flying bases that you can get are a little bit rubbish. So,
No, but it's better than showing them on a big little piece of concrete.
This is true. That's the thing. But I like this model.
Oh, I like that gun.
You like the gun? Which one? This one here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's cool though, isn't it? I think it's probably
I like
the last
the colour.
gun. Probably.
I know you don't have to colour.
I like the sword as well. I like the colour. I like the colour of the sword. The
I like
sword.
the colour of the weapon. That's
I like this model. I think it's a good model. They have got good at doing the winged models. What with all the Stormcast who have wings and that. These are good. This is what I like. We've also got Swooping Hawks.
Ooh,
These are excellent. I really like these models.
I like that one with the big gun.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big gun, isn't it? Looking straight down. Looking down the camera. Staring us down.
Oh, he's scary.
That's terrifying. Terrifying. Say, don't
with that
mess.
gun too.
Look at the size of my gun. Look at my gun. I dare
Dad,
you.
that sounds a bit weird. That's a bit weird, Dad.
Daring us. Yeah,
he took his mask off. No.
Well, you don't have to make. Again, you've got the option to make a mask off or mask on.
I don't like miniatures without the mask.
Well, like I say, you got the choice. Yeah, no, I like these. These are good.
No, but like for some captains, you don't get a choice.
Yeah.
Like they just give you a head, so then we have to go find a spare head for me to use.
Well, this is good.
They gave us a big birdie person.
A little birdie thing. Yeah, I like these. These are a really good reimagined Swooping Hawks. I think the old models were just literally stood on the ground with wings, and that was that. These are
That's a bit bold.
Looking quite dynamic. Good models. I think I prefer these to the Fire Dragons, which is unfortunate because I always loved the Fire Dragons, and
I
just find them a little bit disappointing. But here we are. Finally, these are the Warp Spiders. So this guy.
I was about to say he looks like a spider.
Yeah, that's what they're based upon. Lickis. I don't remember.
What, does he do a lot of licking?
So I don't remember back in the 90s them having a Phoenix Lord because they sort of came out after the other Aspect Warriors. They're a bit later. But maybe that came along later. I did miss a good number of years.
Or maybe they've added it now.
Well, it might be the first time we've seen this.
They could have added it.
I like this model. I think it's good. So the idea with the Warp Spiders, what they do is they have...
Do they warp around using spider webs?
Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah, well, no, exactly. They basically, what they do is they can do short jumps of like a few metres through the warp.
It's like Spider-Man.
So they would disappear from where they are, appear behind you, and then they shoot a monofilament cloud, which is like the spider's web. So they're shooting this
cloud. A bit like Spider-Man, but with like electronic super gates.
But basically the cloud, what they fire is this cloud, it's a monofilament, so it's a really thin sort of like thread.
So like
it's so thin it just lacerates everything.
Between a Stellaris technology, Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Possibly. I don't know what that would look like. But I like this Phoenix Lord. This Phoenix Lord's a really good model, I think. What do you think of him?
He's cool.
You think he's cool? So what he's doing there is...
I think it would have been better if he had a better, like, thing to stand on than that big rock thing.
You know what really improves him?
What?
If when you look at him, you just go, Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
I don't think I'm the 10-year-old explaining here. I think it's you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know you're not keen on the jumping off rock, but I like this model. And also, jumping out of the warp and that.
I think it would have been cooler if he was like floating. I know, like you said, the floaty things are terrible, but it'd be cool if he was floating over like some lava.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, I don't like the flying bases. They're not great.
Or at least make the.
But we also have the warp spiders. These are the warp spiders.
Cool. They look like Ninja Turtles.
You think? Well, yeah, they do have. Yeah,
they've got knives. They've got the back
shelf going on. Yeah, so I think this is the X-Arch model.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's the thing. So these guys have got these web spinners. So basically, what they do is they warp in like unexpectedly, fire their web spinners, then jump out immediately. And yeah, I mean, I remember these being a bit of an invention because we had all the Aspect Warriors in one go. Then the warp spiders came along a bit later. And I like them. They're good.
He's got his mask off.
Oh, again, you've got the option.
I think you don't have to. Really bad without the mask.
Again, I think I prefer the Swooping Hawks out of these releases.
I like
the Swooping Hawks. I think they're great models. Actually,
have you changed your favourite?
Well, the Fire Dragons were, but I don't like these new models. But
they're a bit bland, aren't they?
And the Warp Spiders, I think these are a really good go at it. I prefer the Swooping Hawks. I mean, of these releases, I think the Swooping Hawks stand out to me. I think the Phoenix Lord of the Warp Spiders is probably my favourite of the Phoenix Lords, but
Lord.
But I do like those Sweeping Hawk models.
Phoenix Lord of the Sweeping Hawks is so much better.
I also like, well, I like all these Phoenix Lords are good. I might just buy all the Phoenix Lords and paint them up individually. But here we are.
I'll paint them all in the same colours, and then you've got like a massive chapter of just Phoenix Lords.
Yeah. So we've got the Codex coming from as well, so we'll talk about. This is all the models together. I think they look pretty good.
Those look cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the new one.
Fire dragons are kind of ruin it.
You think?
They don't look as good as the other two.
They're a bit plain. Oh, I do like the X-Arch though, and Fwagan.
Yeah,
so.
but the rest of it kind of ruins it because it's so bland.
I know what you mean. But
like the others have got big spidey shooters and look like Ninja Turtles, and one has wings. Yeah. But then they're just so bland. They've just got big spiky flamethrowers.
I do think this is a solid set of releases though, so I've got no complaints at all. Excellent work on these Eldari. Anyway, so next up we have, I think you're going to like this one, Matthew, Deathcore Krieg.
Deathcore Krieg. You look like Deathcore Krieg.
We've got a big box. Well,
why is it called Krieg? Where did Krieg come from?
Just the name of the planet.
Oh.
That's the planet they're from. But, I mean,
Big Germany people.
I'll go to my opinions on these in a minute. I think
10 out of 10. That is beautiful.
I think this is class. I love the horse in the gas mask.
Horsey.
I think that is excellent.
Yeah, that is really funny.
I think, I like this. I think that's a great model.
I mean, they are fighting in trenches with mustard gas. They're going to need to protect the horses.
I could get into Krieg.
I want to do Krieg.
I'm hoping there's more models to come as well.
I've dedicated myself to Space Wolves now.
You could just buy lots of plastic and not paint it in a bit.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, yeah.
That's what I do. Just keep buying. I think these guys look great. Really, really
You know what I think could be a good mix with these?
What's that?
Put wings on them.
Well, like a Pegasus. No, maybe. I think this is a great model. This general, I think, is he a general?
Yeah. Make a more
always a specific names general. Varmandria, a steel combat veteran.
Of course, he's got a German name. I think this is being rude to the Germans.
I like you got the theme base with the barbed wire and so on.
Stereotyping them because not all Germans fought in World War One.
Well,
and not all of them use gas masks.
Well, yeah, but these aren't Germans. They look
pretty German to me.
Well, actually, the argument is that their uniform is actually more themed around the the French uniform of the World War One, or at least the classical Krieg uniform was.
Yeah, but like,
I do think
the colours look French, but like the clothes look German.
Which option do you go for? Las pistol or sword?
Ooh, probably Las pistol.
I think I'd go sword myself, but But I think it's great. You've also got these Death Riders.
I like them.
Death Riders.
I want to get into Death Corp.
I think they're good, aren't they? They are good. But yeah.
Especially as there's a lot of horses, and I love horses. I love horses.
I really like these Death Riders. They are really good models. I like them. They're good.
Maybe we do
horsey, gas mask.
When we go to Warhammer World, I can get some Death Corp.
Yeah, well, if they're out by then, I don't know when they're getting released, but probably out by then, I would imagine. It'll be February.
Because it'll be February or January.
Yeah, absolutely. So so there's that. We have
Oh, look at the toes of the horses.
Oh yeah, what's going on there? That's weird, isn't it?
Maybe mutation.
They've got proper claws, haven't they? Yeah, that is weird, isn't it?
Maybe they're mutated from the mustard gas.
Maybe. They've got these combat engineers.
What is that tiny little thing on the base?
Oh yeah, that's
tiny little thingy.
Little robot thing, I think. Little for clearing minefields, probably.
Yeah.
So I think my problem with these guys, and it was the same with the Kill Team box versions of them.
You love that Kill Team.
I do like it. I think they're all too dynamic. One of the things I used to like about the Forge World version of Krieg is they were all sort of standing around like you used to see men in photographs from World War One. They were all a little bit. These guys look just too dynamic. The guys in the Forge World ones always looked a bit like they'd been at war forever. And they were fed up, and they just stood there. No one's really leaping into combat.
Maybe there's more like recruits, maybe.
Well, I think the idea. This is just how they.
I think they'd be more scared though.
Well,
you've got to
remember these have been done by a different modelling team, and they've taken a bit more of a take at it. They're all a bit more dynamic. They're a bit more 40k. because the Forge World models are always a little bit more stylised. But I used to quite like the fact that, so when you put them all together, they all looked a bit like they'd been at war forever. These guys leaping into combat far too
like they're
dynamic.
excited to...
Yeah, exactly. Well, I quite like the look of them, where you can see these guys, they know they've got to fight, but they ain't enthused about it. And then these guys...
And these look like, hooray, I get to fight!
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like they're like veterans of a conflict, like World War One veterans.
The only
you know
one
what I mean?
that even looks like a veteran, I'd say, is the bottom left.
Yeah.
Because he's in a more, that one there, you know, next to the robot on the right.
Yeah,
No, the one below him.
this one.
That one. He looks more. He's in a bit more of a normal stance.
He's striding forward though. I mean, you know, I sort of.
Yeah, but he's not running, is he? He's striding.
Yeah.
So.
So these are the combat engineers. So it is entirely possible we're going to get some normal sort of line infantry who are a bit more like, you know, a bit more basic.
But maybe we should get some miniatures that are like they're shivering and they're muddy and.
Yeah, exactly. I mean. You know, that's what I think. I sort of think they should look like a bit.
They'd be a bit hungry. They'd be a bit like fed up of eating rats for dinner.
Yeah, but I'm not going to slag them off too much. I mean, I do like the models. I think they look good. I wouldn't, you know, I just think I just love those Forge World models, and they all look. There was something
Can you show
about.
Me a picture of the Forge World.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's
these,
really cool.
So if you look at these guys, they all look a bit like they're just standing around, half at attention. They've had a long war, haven't they? You know they've had a long war.
Look at that one in top left. He looks like he's had a
Yeah, you know. Whereas you look at these guys. And
they're so enthusiastic.
Look at him jumping into combat, ready to spear.
And get ready to get shot in the stomach.
Just fitted his bayonet casually. You know, this guy's just strolling along.
I think that bottom right one's the only one that looks like he's enthusiastic, but he was probably...
we had another squad of them advancing, so this is them advancing.
I don't like them ones as much.
I mean, you know, I think...
They look too much like Marines, I think, because they're green.
Yeah, I mean, I do like these. Like I say, I just love those Forge World models. I do prefer the Forge World models. These might well grow on me, though, I think.
How expensive do you think those will be?
These guys? Probably talking 10 for about 30 odd quid, something like that, I would think.
I mean, I think I'd rather have the Forge World than them.
Forge World are ludicrously expensive. Shall we have a look what they...
50 quid.
That's 56 quid. 56 quid. It's almost double the price. It is not a cheap business.
No,
I've got some Forge World in the cabinet.
It's so much better.
I'll show you the Forge World ones later, Matthew. That's no good for the viewers, but anyway.
Yeah,
anyway, they've always had good artillery.
It's so cool.
Look at this artillery. So, you know, it's all supposed to be...
They look like a bit more that they've had enough. Like, they're in more normal stances.
Well, again, I actually prefer the artillery they had as part of Forge World. But these are all right. I mean, you know...
They look a lot more less enthusiastic. They still don't look like the Forge World ones where they're like, oh, I can't be bothered.
It does look like a World War One piece of artillery, though.
Very heavy.
Like that.
Intended for infantry.
Yeah, so, you know, rocket
I don't like that one as much.
No, I can't say I'm looking.
I like that one.
I like that one. Yeah.
Those guys definitely look like they've had enough of the war.
Yeah.
Can you spin it round? Is there a way you could spin it?
I don't think we can spin it round. Not with this one. So got these guys.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a commissar.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
commissars are fairly common,
one.
but it's a commissar specific Krieg because he's got the gas mask, as they do. We've also got some captain models.
They look really cool.
Guessing he's some sort of medic.
He looks too enthusiastic though. I love you can't see that.
This guy's got into the spirit. He's looking a little bit
he's
he's had a bad day. And this guy as well. I like this guy as well. He's got into getting into the spirit of things.
He sees the skull on the floor and he just starts, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I like these command guys.
But they're just too enthusiastic.
And there you go. Here's the heavy weapon sets.
He looks depressed. Look at him. He looks depressed.
Yeah, just doing whatever he's doing with his gun. I like these. I think these are good. Yeah, a bit of heavy.
I like that flamethrower.
Yeah, flamethrower's one's good.
Only one is, the operator looks too eager. He like, look, it's like, yay, I'm probably going to die.
I think they should have gone with... I really liked the old flamethrower model you used to have, which was 2 men, one of whom had the tanks on his back and was holding the pipe, which was piping to the guy who was shooting the flame out. And I can show you that a bit, because I've got the model in there.
But then he's just got it all, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anyway, there we go. So we've got
nice
a new codex.
I like that picture.
So there we go. So what do you think of the Death Korps of Krieg? What's
probably my favourite that's going to be in this review.
Well, I think, I think that's a guarantee. I can't see that being top, but and I know what's coming. But shall we go on to... We have
Old World.
Warhammer the Old World, the Empire Man. Now, this is the army that I collected 30 years ago.
You're so old.
I know.
Why are you so old? You're like 45.
So the Empire are a bit like... So we've seen the Bretonnians, who are like medieval knights with the medieval peasantry. These are a bit more like the Renaissance sort of time. There's gunpowder going on.
Got knights with gunpowder weapons.
Yeah, well, that's how it was at the time. It was the end of medieval times, so you still had the knights, but you were finding the proto gunpowder weapons.
So you had knights on horses with guns.
Well, you didn't so much have them wielding guns themselves, but you did find that you had these big guns that would be wielded by 2 men, huge things. They weren't very practical weapons. Actually, the things that did away were knights, more the crossbow, because it could punch through the armour with it. But but it was at that sort of verge of time. This is themed around that sort of time, and you got a steam tank.
That's a... What type of tank is that?
It's a steam tank. We'll see. We'll look a bit more detail in a second at that. So a lot of these are the old models that's been reissued.
Yeah.
I'm not certain there's any new stuff in here. For instance, this big Griffin model.
You've got.
I've got. Well, it is him.
Oh yeah, it's him.
That is literally.
Is him.
I painted this guy. I'll probably flash up on screen or something.
Do you want me to
my model? No, it's fine. I'll flash up on screen. I've got many videos of this guy.
Oh, true.
But yeah, this is.
You painted him more of a white though, haven't you?
I themed him on a seagull. He's meant to be an Arctic tern themed theme. Well, he was
really a seagull.
Well, I did him for... The idea was it was meant to be an Arctic tern, actually, because it was for a Tempest Eye Cities of Sigmar army, which is now not allowed in that. It's now defunct, but, here we are. But, it was. I did it for a Tempest Eye army who are all ice-themed, snowy sort of stuff going on. There we are. And we've got a couple of leaders. But these are your infantry. I like them. Swordsmen... Basically, we like the mass
register. The square.
Yes, we've got swordsmen, spearmen.
I think they should bring that back in thingy
in Age of Sigmar.
No, in
40k.
40k.
They've never had it in 40k.
But I think it would be better.
It's a different style of game though. Is playing on these. So the idea is that the Old World is what you call a rank and flank game. The idea is you're in ranks of men. The idea is to try and get around the flanks of that rank and fight them. No, I'm saying
they don't have to stay together. I'm just saying it would be better if they were squares because then you don't have them tiny gaps in the middle. It really annoy me.
I just think a unit like this looks really good together.
Yeah. It means there won't be like tiny gaps that like. I'm not saying they have to be right together. I'm not saying they have to be like that. I'm just saying like there doesn't need to be that tiny little gap. That's like. One there, and then there's like a tiny gap there.
It is what it is. It's just how they set it up.
Square would be better.
Like I say, they've got some old style arquebuses. I think these probably are. So it's gunpowder weapons.
So like, those were in one of my games I play. They're not. I think in the game I play they're called like. I don't think it's what they're called in real life, but like blunderbusses.
Yeah. So that could be a blunderbuss. Yeah, so a name for that sort of thing, I think. Crossbows as well. So I think these guys have got crossbows.
Yeah.
Flagellants. Oh, I had a load of flagellants for
got very big
in my army.
Weapons.
They've got big flails. So if you go back to medieval times, apparently there were these guys who went around and to ward off plague and stuff like that, they would whip themselves with like chains and stuff. The idea was...
How would that avoid plague?
Well, they were taking pain for the sins that were causing the plague.
Oh.
It was religious stuff. It was a bit weird, to be honest.
So something we won't.
But these guys were themed on the same sort of thing, I think, basically.
So it's like sacrificing some for the rest of the others.
Yeah, so it's a bit like Jesus. Yeah, a bit like what Jesus
sacrificing
did.
himself for
the sins of everyone else, or something, you know. Got some great swords. Those are good. Yeah. Again, all older models, but they're fine. When you got them in a rank like that, it doesn't really matter.
That have sabres?
I don't think it's not the Empire Army. So we've got longbows.
Longbows are cool. I like longbows.
Just swordsmen.
They look like peasantry a bit.
I think they're just like militia.
Yeah, because they don't.
Bombards and cannons.
You rarely saw bombards though, did you? You saw cannons.
You would have done, yeah, no, you would have that sort of time. Cannons and bombards were very similar. It's just a cannon pointed up.
Oh. But the cannons were a lot more common though, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell these are older models. I mean, you know.
Just by the artwork.
Rockets, or the Hellblaster volley gun.
That's cool.
Whoa, that looks good.
Don't like the rocket blaster.
Then we've got knights. So these are Reiksguard knights.
Those are cool.
I used to have these models. I think they were the same models back then. They were lead soldiers on plastic horses. I loved them dearly. They were great.
Are cool.
They were pistoliers. Are these pistoliers? Yeah, pistoliers and whatever the equivalent with sort of rifles are. So these are on horseback, but they're wielding pistols for these guys and guns for these. Meant to be sort of scouts, so they roam ahead and shoot and stuff.
So like they only pick off like smaller groups.
Yeah, Griffin Knights.
Cool. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Why are the toes like that?
We've got a War Altar or something like that. Then we've got steam tank going on.
You look like a steam tank.
The idea with these is they only ever made 20 of them because eventually they explode. The boiler inside it's steam powered, so it's got a boiler of boiling water in that's making it go forward, and they're very prone to that exploding. Basically, just cooks the driver.
It's like 100 degrees in there.
Oh yeah. Well, no. If the boiler bursts, it's suddenly filled with either like really hot steam. Yeah, he's pretty dead. Pretty dead in that case.
So they only built 20 in real life.
Well, it's not real life, is it? They only built 20 in the game. In the story of the game. Yeah.
In the story, I thought you meant in real life they only built 20 ever because.
Yeah, well, no, they never made anything like this. It was, I think it's based on like a sketch by Leonardo da Vinci or something.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all them. Some more Forge World miniatures.
It's resin though, so you will like it.
No, never liked resin. The models are alright though. They're pretty solid. Oh. They've got the war wagon.
It's not horsey.
That's horses pulling a wagon with guys with like lots of weapons pointing at them. I would have killed for this.
Horsey.
I always wanted this back in the day. I believe, because I think I looked this up not so long ago, this was only active as a miniature in one edition of Warhammer, which was Fantasy Battle 4th edition. They never released a new model. And this is the first time I mean, I could be wrong. It might have been in circulation all the way. But my research seemed to bear out that it did not exist in any other edition. So this was only available in the early 90s as a model. I loved this so much. The rules were printed in issue of White Dwarf. I used to pore over it. I never had this model. I think this is probably resin. If it's lead, that's awful, because building that's going to be horrible. But, you know, I just love the guys poking over the top with all their guns and stuff like that. What do you think of the war wagon, Matthew?
It looks okay.
It looks okay? It's absolutely magnificent, Matthew.
I like the horses.
Magnificent. This is out on a made-to-order basis. I will be buying it. I will be getting it. I don't care. I don't care.
Bad dad.
I don't care.
Bad dad. Bad.
I will be purchasing this.
Naughty.
Then we've got some metal stuff coming out. These are a little bit.
Is that like a missioner or something?
I think he's a standard bearer. Some priest sort of guys.
So maybe that guy was a missioner.
These are all a bit ropey, these models, but you know, they are what they are.
They'll look amazing.
All right. I think I had him in lead.
What am I looking at?
I think I had him back in the day. I loved that model. I think this is the same kit.
No, I mean the colours.
Oh, the colours?
Colours are blinding me.
Well, knights always did wear quite bright colours.
No, I mean like the sun on him.
Well, that is quite bright. I think that is almost certainly the same model I had when I had an Empire Army in about 1993.
Oh, so, stop going back to nostalgia.
31 years ago I had him.
You're so old.
got whatever these guys are.
Stop bringing back nostalgia. He's so old.
Wolf something. Whoa, look at him.
That looks like you.
He's an ogre wielding some sort of gunboat.
That looks like you.
Hand cannon on the go. But yeah, we like that. Anyway, so what do you think of the Empire?
It was okay. I liked the ogre though.
Did you prefer those to the Bretonians? What are you thinking? No. Oh, well, I think I did. They're still my favourites.
I think you look like the ogre.
They are still my favourites
that
out of all
ogre
these
that was
things.
Above where you are now, you look like it.
Yeah. Next up, we're into Age of Sigmar here. We have the Gloomspite Gitz.
Oh, these lot.
So, typically, we see lots of squigs. There is not a lot of squiggage here. I'm going to warn you.
There's no squigs.
But we do have...
I don't want to see this. There's no squigs.
But we've got a goblin on a doggo.
No, there's no squigs though.
Oh, there is some squigs, not many though.
I want a lot of squigs. I want a full squig army.
We do love squigs.
Can we make a full squig army?
Well, maybe. We do like squigs, but this guy... I like this model. Riding a wolf. Guy on a wolf. I think that's a good model, that is.
I thought that was a lion.
These are reimagining of the night goblins riding wolves, who are a thing in Age of Sigmar's Gloomspite Gitz, but these are new models for Age of Sigmar, and these are really good. I like these. He is good. We also have these guys. These are your normal rank and file riding doggos.
Horsey wolf.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Because these guys are tiny, so the wolf is about the right size for them to ride along on.
The wolf's become a horsey.
Yeah, you got these guys. Two of them on him. Two of them on him as well. Yeah. What are you thinking to these guys?
Wolfies.
Wolfies.
I give it Wolfie out of 10.
You give it a Wolfie out of 10. Oh, fair play. Do you like the wolves?
Yes.
Good wolves? Yeah, we like the wolves.
They look like jelly bean.
There you go. I told you there's a squig. Oh, is that a squig?
No, that's not a squig.
Oh, no, it's the side of the chariot.
Oh, I want squigs.
I think it's a picture of a squig or something. But yeah, so you got wolf chariots.
If I don't see a squig by the end of this slide, I'm going to crash out.
I think that might be it. I think I thought there were some squigs and there weren't squigs.
I'm going to crash out.
But yeah, so we've got these wolves dragging this thing around.
At least there's wolfies.
Oh, look at this big wolf! This big wagon.
Big wolf.
Look at this guy up top, living his best life.
That's what we should do to you.
Oh, it's a catapult. The catapult's firing this guy with makeshift wings strapped to him. He's loving it, not knowing these wings aren't going to work.
No.
There's no chance they're working.
At first I thought he was being crucified.
No, he's been flung by a big catapult. It's not going to work.
I don't think he's going to survive. Oh, it looks like they're just so silly.
Yeah, they are very silly.
They're like
I like this though.
Like in the Warhammer world, they're like cats.
Yeah.
Like they do the most stupid stuff, and then sometimes like they become really aggressive for no reason.
So this is a reimagining of the Doom Divers. The Doom Divers, I'm not sure if they've been in Age of Sigmar before. These are reimagining. They basically just had like a little mini catapult, and then they were very much like that with the wings ready to go. This is a bit of a bigger catapult for firing them. I like it. It's good.
We should put you in that.
Yeah, I like that. Then we have this big guy riding a chariot. Oh, good little guy. Good little guy.
Why is he so tiny?
I know. I like these guys. These guys are cool. I don't
think that a rat? He looks like a rat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll buy it myself, but
no.
Yeah, I quite like it. It's good. It is good. New Gloomspite Gitz.
I didn't see any squigs, Dad. I'm not happy now.
You are correct. There are no squigs going on. What do you think to them, guys? Do you like them?
0 out of 10. There's no squigs.
No squigs.
Actually, no. 3 out of 10 because there was wolfies.
There was wolfies. So 3 out of 10 just for the wolfies. Oh, that's fine. So this is last up. Last up, we have...
the Horus Heresy.
Horus Heresy, Arvus Light Transport. So this is a transport for the Astra Militarum. What do you think of this thing? It's big flying transport. Got a gun poking out the back. Bit of a pilot going on.
Cool. I just saw a tank.
Well, we'll come to that. What do you think of this then? What are you thinking about this transport?
It looks like the Millennium Falcon.
You think?
A bit.
Yeah.
If the Millennium Falcon was squished out.
I can see that. It does have a bit of a Star Wars ethos with those engines. Yeah. You can see that in Star Wars.
The wings, even the feet of the thing.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. We have this kit. It gets better in a second. So this is a Malcador. So you'll be.
I love Malcador.
Yeah, you like Malcadors. It's like a Lehman Russ tank, but bigger and.
Wasn't that the tank that was like really old that I wanted to get?
No, that was a Chimera.
Oh yeah, Chimera.
So this has a big gun on it. This is the version I like the best though. Big flamethrower. It's got a big tank for driving the flamethrower out of the back. What do you think of that?
I like that one.
You don't like? Oh, I love it.
Because of the tank at the back.
Oh no, that's what I like about it. The fact it's having to tow behind its fuel supply for the big flamethrower gun.
Why don't they just put it
Loving
inside?
that.
Why don't they just make the tank longer and put it inside?
Because it's actually designed around. There were tanks in very similar to this in the First World War.
Yeah, they have like that.
And they used to tow things like
extra wheels at the back.
Yeah.
The early
Well, you used to see things like this where they tow a thing behind them before they tried to put everything within the armour and so on. But yeah, no, I think that is great. I think that's a great variant. That's what I'd build.
2 wheels behind them that would do something.
Yeah.
To help it stabilise it.
I think it was for getting out of trenches.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they were smaller ones.
I think it's one kit here for these variants of the Malcador, and so you think you can assemble all these versions.
Oh, I like the last one.
Oh, of the guns.
Yeah.
That's the last cannon, I think. Yeah, you got the heavy bolter, whatever all the other ones are. No, that's good. Got this dreadnought.
That looks like you.
I'll be honest. I think it's silly.
Yeah, it's silly, but it's
I mean,
look at them arms.
I'm generally into silly, but he just looks like... You know what this looks like to me? Something you could buy from your local toy shop. Just a big, silly transformer or something, something
look
like that.
His arms are like this.
Yeah, I know. It's just not for me.
No.
I do like the Contemptor Dreadnoughts. It is a good kit generally. I just think it looks silly with a big rocket.
Yeah.
It's very typical of something like a big Transformers and we go, should we put some rockets on top? Let's have some rockets on top. Guns on both sides? Yeah, 2 big guns. It's not practical.
I think he gets ruined by the big rockets on top.
I think maybe it might be passable if he hadn't had that. If they'd done something else with that, I might have been alright with it.
Just don't put anything on top.
There's probably options, to be honest. I prefer.
Oh, that's cool.
I prefer with this option.
Yeah,
that's
I
better.
would.
And if you could take off the rockets, I'd be fine with that as well. We do have.
Yeah.
Actually, that option.
Yeah, I like that.
If we had this option here, if I had that, as a flamer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe with this one.
With that, yeah.
All right, I'm rolling back on this. If you get this big cyclone missile launcher thing going on.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe either las cannons or
that, yeah.
flamer
that
or
looks
whatever.
So much better.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to allow it, Matthew. I'm going to allow it.
But it does get fixed by that.
So anyway, that's all the reveals.
Is it?
That is everything. So
what about the last 2?
That was the Forge World we were looking at.
Get rid of them. Because I thought there were more slides.
Okay, so let's try and make some order to this. So we had the Aeldari.
Yeah, what about them?
We had the Krieg.
I like the Krieg.
We had the Empire.
The Ogre.
We had the Gloomspite Gitz.
Oh,
and we had
the
Horus Heresy new miniatures. So, what was your least favourite of all the 5?
Least favourite?
Yeah.
The Empire.
The Empire, really? Oh, but even with a war wagon?
Actually, no. The Gloomspite Gitz because there was no squiggies.
So if we eliminate those, what's your next least favourite? What's the Empire? I think?
Yeah.
You gave that away, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we still have the Eldari. We have the Krieg.
Get rid of the Eldari.
We're getting rid of it. Oh, it's sacrilege. Okay, so Krieg. I mean, I know what your favourites could be here.
Yeah, it's pretty
Krieg or Heresy. Should we just get rid of the Heresy right away?
Yeah, just get rid
so
of
your Krieg was your favourite this week, but followed by the Heresy, then Eldari, and then Empire, and then Gloomspite.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's
if
good.
there was squiggies, it'd be higher.
Okay, so out of the Krieg, what is your favourite miniature?
Go up.
Weapons.
Go up.
Commissar.
Go up.
You got these.
Keep going up. I want to see everything.
I'm just bringing this back across some of the other options.
I liked them, but I want to go up.
You have the Engineers, Death Riders, and then this chap.
Him.
I was going to say, that is a lovely model. It is a really good model, that is. I think it just sort of sums up
the Krieg
really well. I think
all
it's
the
really
muddy trenches, the gas masks.
Yeah, I think it's a great centrepiece model to have in your army. I think that is lovely.
I'd probably put it leading the front if I had a Krieg army.
Yeah, I am into that. Oh, well, there we go. So that was good, wasn't it? Lots of stuff there. Anyway, I think we need to say to the viewers, for the first time in ages, what have we got to say to the viewers?
Bye-bye.
don't forget to like it. You've got one job here, Matthew.
Oh,
don't forget to like and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell too.
Oh, well, that too. Thanks.
Bye.